Bwana Ngewa, do you think that we have had free and fair elections in Kenya?
We are growing democracy. And looking at history and comparative analysis, we are not doing so badly. But this is not where we are supposed to be, especially after the promulgation of our Constitution 2010. We needed to have made more progress than we have done. So to some extent, looking at even the post-election disputes, the percentage of the disputes which come out apart from the presidential elections, the percentage points to a fact that we are growing as a democracy. But if we put in place proper mechanisms, proper enforcement, compliance mechanisms, then there's hope, and we are doing fairly well.
Okay, you've talked of petitions. What are the other indicators of free and fair elections?
Literally speaking, one of the indicators will be the number of petitions that come out, disputes that come out after the election. Another pointer is how much we are progressing in terms of realization of representation of the less privileged groups, how much we are growing in terms of the elected, for example, women leaders, elected persons with disabilities, how many youth we are electing, how many marginalized groups, persons from marginalized groups we are electing. That could be another indicator.
Thank you very much. Allow me to now move on to Mr. Nicodemus Bore, next to you there, to ask you some questions.
Thank you, Chairman. Nangeiwa, when you're introducing yourself, you indicated that you ran for a senatorial seat in 2013.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter, I think you lost during the nomination?
I lost in the general election.
And you went ahead and petitioned the win against you?
No, the petition emanated from our party primaries, but it escalated all the way to the High Court.
So I'm talking about the party primaries.
Yes.
When you lost the party primaries,
I won the party primaries.
Okay.
It's my opponent who petitioned.
You went ahead and represented yourself in the petition.
Yes.
And you even went ahead and asked the court not to to prevent your opponent from submitting his papers.
Yes.
And so while this shows a very strong competitive spirit, how do you reconcile the assertiveness with the values of ethical leadership and fairness in a democratic process?
You just repeat yourself, sir.
While that showed that it was very competitive.
Yeah.
And the decision you took, went to court and asked the court not to allow your opponent to present his papers.
Yes.
So was that ethical?
No, what happened? I realized my opponent had been given a certificate, yet I'd won the nominations. My opponent bought a certificate, yet I was the winner of the nominations. So the lawyer in me told me to prevent him from submitting that forged certificate because he would otherwise have presented it to the returning officer.
And looking back, would you say your pursuit of nomination respected both the spirit and letter of democracy, of party democracy?
In that particular case?
Yes.
Yeah, we did the nominations. The voting was undertaken across the county, in all the 5 sub-counties. And the tallies showed that I was the winner. Yes, it was very democratic. We campaigned and our members voted.
The position you are seeking as the chair of IEBC, part of its role is become an arbiter in cases where sometimes you see IEBC forms tribunals to sort out cases, especially emanating from primaries, and also I think some elections. And you are part of the process of forming such tribunals. How will you demonstrate leadership and uphold ethical principles in resolving these disputes?
In the formation of the tribunal.
And the leadership thereafter?
The tribunal is a statutory body with a specific mandate. And therefore, as chairperson, I am not involved in the resolution of the dispute. I only enforce the decision of the tribunal.
Thank you, Chair.
On that particular matter, that last question, in the last elections, we had how many presidential candidates? Were they 3 or 4?
We had?
How many presidential candidates did we have?
In the last election, 2022?
Yes.
I can't remember the exact number, but there were a number.
Okay, there's one aspirant who sought to present his papers. He's a person living with a disability. And he eventually did fail to present his papers to IEBC and did not run in the elections. And if you follow those elections, what will you say about the fairness of IEBC or the chairman of IEBC in how that particular candidate was treated?
I don't remember the specific case, but there are timelines.
This was Ruben Kigame.
There are timelines on how and when to present the nomination papers. So if he was out of the timelines, then there's little that could be done. But I doubt whether they could have, if he was within the timelines, why the nomination papers will be refused to be accepted.
Thank you. Professor Adam Solo, please.
Thank you, Chair. Wananga, you are looking at your CV. One sees that from September 2024 to date, you have held the position of Chairperson Kitale Bench Ethics and Integrity Committee. Is that right?
Yes, Professor.
Based on that, what would you tell this panel that have been your key achievements and milestones in the enforcement of leadership and integrity?
I've been at the forefront in matters ethics and integrity. In fact, that position of chairperson, I attained it through a democratic process of the branch law society members. We were subjected to a democratic process to come up with a chairperson who is known and believed to be of undoubted integrity. That's how I earned that position. In fact, that committee was the first of its kind in the country. The then presiding judge of the High Court, because of our zeal to fight the vice of corruption, we came up, it was an informal committee arrangement. But thank God, after he was even elected as a commissioner at the JSC, now the JSC has issued guidelines and made those required that every bar bench in the country comes up with a similar committee. So that was a brainchild of the then judge and myself.
You're seeking to be the chairman of Iebc, a body that has gone through a lot of palpitations, either resignations or forced resignations, divided decisions in the glare of the world. What makes Ngeyua say that I'm the solution? Give me that chair and you shall cure all these challenges that the commission has had. What is in your arsenal that one is not able to see through your CV? What is it that you bring on board?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The liberty we are enjoying, Honorable Chair and members, was fought for by some people. And you even recognize those persons in our preamble to the Constitution. There were people even during the colonial period, Kenyans, who offered their lives that we may be free. In the process of our democratic progress, there are people in this country who have offered themselves until we are where we are today in terms of democracy and human rights. And therefore, every generation must have these people. And I believe in my generation, I'm willing to partake of that cause in the defense of our democracy.
I hear you that it is time for a new generation to be at the helm. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, FCP Etanui.
Just a follow-up question from what Professor has put, that it is a time for new generation to take over. So what is it, Manangeyo, the chair of Iebc, vis-a-vis commissioners? What is it that, did you apply for the commissioner?
Yes, I applied for both of them.
You are shortlisted for both?
No, I was shortlisted for the chair.
Yes. So what is it that made you want to be the chairperson? What is it? What is the drive to be the chair? Looking at your generation, as Prof is putting it, what quality or what is the drive for you to be the chair of Iebc?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I confirm that if I was there in 1945, 1952, I would have gone to the forest. If I were there in the 1980s, I would have stood against the single party machinations. And that's why when we were writing even our constitution, where I come from a lowly background in terms of land owning in this country. And I've done a lot. Chapter 5 of the Constitution, if you read my dissertation, LLB dissertation, it has a lot of overtones of my recommendations. So I believe this is the time for those of us who are not there, for those of us who believe in our nationalhood, to present ourselves and take up these positions, that perhaps we may make a difference. People have said you'll be killed. On social media, everywhere, some people are saying even don't go for that interview. But there are some people who must present themselves. We have our young people who go to foreign missions, they come back in coffins. If I didn't have impaired hearing, I would have joined the Air Force. I believe have what it takes, the stamina, the resolve, to undertake this position.
Thank you for that resoluteness. Lastly, assuming you get this position and you are the chairperson of IEBC, you'll find that one of your fellow commissioners is leaking confidential commission information to one of the political parties that are involved in the upcoming elections. What would you do?
We have a code of conduct. We have the constitutional values and principles of governance. We have the Leadership and Integrity Act. So despite the fact that a commissioner is independent, if he is doing that, then we shall take the necessary measures of making the necessary recommendations to the oversight body, that's Parliament, to undertake the necessary process of removing them.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I go back to Professor Adams. Yes, some quick questions to you.
Thank you again, Wanangeiwa. You did tell us here that you know the geography of this country nearly 80%.
For the counties, almost 100%. For the constituencies, around 80%.
For the counties, 100%.
Yes.
What is the smallest county in terms of landmass in Kenya?
Lamu.
Landmass, not population. Landmass.
In terms of landmass, Mombasa.
Which county has the highest number of electoral wards? And statistically, there are how many?
I can't tell the number of the wards, but it should be Nairobi.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know, Linda, do you have some question? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Ngeiwa, if you were given this position of the chair and you were in an election period and there was some sort of political interference, how would you demonstrate leadership and uphold ethical principles in that kind of a scenario?
Interference at what level, Madam?
When you're in an election period, it's an election year, you are conducting elections, probably a scenario at the Bomas of Kenya, and there was political interference. How would you uphold your ethical principles in resolving whatever environment you'd find yourself in at that time?
I remain independent at all times. I remain impartial at all times. As a national returning officer, presidential returning officer, I've only one singular duty: to declare the will of the people.
Thank you, Chair.
Since 2024 September, when you took over as chairperson of Kitale Bench Ethics and Integrity Committee chair, what would you say have been your achievements or aspirations in that role?
We now have enhanced reporting of corruption incidents. We now have
enhanced meaning what are the percentages you're calling enhanced?
I have not come with the statistics, but previously there were very few reports by the affected the victims, but now the reporting by victims is often. We are also witnessing reduced instances of corruption reports Initially, there was no reporting. You would hear about a case after so long a time, but now we get reports, but the number has somehow gone down.
Okay. You say you don't have statistics.
I did not look at the file before I came. It's under lock key at the court. I'm not the one who keeps it, Nabocha.
What was the average before you took over?
Before you took over, there were numerous. I can't give the exact numbers, but it was common practice. Now it is becoming not common.
Okay, thank you very much. We have come to the end of our questions to you. And once again, allow me to reiterate that we are grateful that you spent time to come, engage with us, and we are extremely grateful that you have spent your time in this manner. I don't know whether you have any question for us or you have anything, comment that you'd like to make. Kindly, Edward.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I don't have a question, but I just also want to appreciate the committee, the panel, for inviting me, and particularly for being true to our constitution, especially in terms of Articles 54 and 56. I'm privileged that a person of my caliber from such a background, I'm able to be given a hearing by this auspicious panel. I wish you well, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much. Kindly remember, we do have your documents. So as you leave, it would be nice for you to have them so that you don't leave them with us. There's some water there. Feel free to take. There may be some tea somewhere within the precincts. Feel free to take and safe travel back to Trans Nzoia, to Kitale. We appreciate the people of Kitale for making food for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, asante, and blessings.
Sana.
Thank you.
No, imagine.
Yes, that's your.
Okay, thank you.
And the notebook too. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Please pick his certificates and take them to him. Somebody should pick certain terms. Pick the folder there, kindly. Madam, pick the folder here and take it to him. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.